Hi guys, it's Ariana. Welcome back to my channel. So for tonight's video, we are finally going to be playing around with the It's Frickin' Bats palette by Shroud Cosmetics, and it is a collaboration with the YouTuber Beautbean. So as you guys know from watching my channel, I'm a really big fan of Beautbean. She's one of my favorite YouTubers, and I just think she's really amazing at makeup. She's also really nice. I've chatted with her a couple times just in DMs over Instagram, and she's just such a nice person. So I was very excited that this palette was available to us in October. It was a pre-sale though, so that's why it took forever for them to send it to me. I paid for it on the launch day. It was a pre-order, and then I got it last week or this week. Like, I got it recently. I just haven't been able to film until tonight. So if you are new to this palette, this is what the palette looks like. It is this gorgeous palette. It is such a grungy, spooky palette, and I'm so excited to play with it. The shades in it are all named really adorably. There's Handbook, Spooky, Apparition, Adams, Sam, Trappa, Zero, Dairy, and Grim. Like, it's just the best palette for Halloween. I know it's February, but that doesn't matter. It's freaking Halloween. So it is the It's Frickin' Bats palette, and I'm just so excited to play with it. So I've already primed my eyes using the Dose of Colors concealer in the shade 03 Fair. So my eyes are already ready to go, and my brushes are actually clean for once. So I have my life together for once. So I'm just going to zoom you guys in and we can get started on this first impressions. All right, so I just tried to do a look and I didn't end up liking the color combo that I chose. I tried to use the color Trappa and Dairy together, and it just didn't really work that well. I'm not very good at eyeshadow, so it's totally my fault. But I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna go into the color Trappa, which is that really pretty yellow color. I'm gonna put that all into my crease, and we're going to blend that out again. I really want to do a yellow look tonight, so I'm hoping this works. I just think instead of using the Dairy color on the outer corner, I just won't do a deeper outer corner, and I will just do a really bright look, just because it didn't work, and I don't know what the issue was. My studio is also really warm, so it could just have been that the shadows were not sticking properly because I'm really warm right now. But it is minus 35 out right now, so I can't open my window. It's way too cold for that, so have to bear with me while I'm just really warm. So now that we have the Trappa color all over the eye again, I'm going to use the colors Sam and Handbook tonight. So I'm gonna go into my glitter glue. I'm gonna put that on a Luxie Precision crease brush, and I'm just going to add that all over my lid. If anything changed from the last frame, my camera died, so I had to change the battery. So now that I have the NYX glitter glue all over my eye, I'm gonna go in with my Luxie double-ended brush, and I'm gonna go into the color Sam on the inner corner, and I am going to put Handbook on the outer corner, which is that really pretty green. So I'm gonna mix Sam all across my lid, and then blend it in with the color Handbook. And now I'm gonna go in with a blender brush, and I'm just going to take Trappa all into my crease again. I will say that I'm not really impressed with how much fallout I'm getting from the palette. It almost seems like the colors are pressed really loosely. It's kind of reminding me of Melt Cosmetics in that way, where I put my brush into the palette and it literally brings up so much pigment and so much of the shadow that I'm getting so much fallout. I'm not really liking that. I'm getting a crazy amount of fallout underneath my eyes, and I don't know, I just wasn't really expecting that. But I'm just doing a really quick look tonight and just giving my first impressions. I'm gonna quickly do the same look on the other eye, and then I will be right back to do some liner with you guys and talk further about the palette. All right, so I just quickly repeated the same look on the other eye. So definitely do your base makeup second if you're going to use this eyeshadow palette, just because it made a huge mess underneath my eyes with how much fallout there is. And I'm not pressing hard in the pans at all. I'm pressing very lightly, basically doing how I always do my eyeshadow, and I'm just getting a crazy amount of fallout. I don't know why, but I am. So I'm gonna quickly go ahead and clean up my under eyes, do my base makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and we can use one of my new eyeliners that I got from ColourPop. All right, so I just did some black eyeliner really quickly and some lashes. These are the Lashes from the brand, I think it's Lashes Los Angeles, and these are the faux mink lashes in the lash charm. They're not my favorite lashes, but they'll do for tonight. I usually use the Urban Pop lashes. They're my favorite ones, but I need to get new ones. So I'm gonna pair this eye look using one of my new eyeliners from ColourPop. So this is the shade, I don't know, does it say? Electric Daisy. So I'm just gonna put this all into my waterline, just because I think this will go really well with this eye look. All right, and now we can finish up the under eyes. So I think I'll just go into the shade Trappa and just sweep that underneath my waterline. So I'm just gonna go in using a pencil brush, go into Trappa, and just sweep this underneath my waterline. All right, so I'm just going to throw on some mascara. So this is the Big Eagle Lashes from Tarte. All right, so I'm going to throw in a wig, zoom you guys out, and then we can talk about this palette. All right, so this is the finished look once I have my wig on. I just threw a beanie on from Urban Planet. I threw on some highlight. So I am wearing Mars Melter from Kaleidos Makeup. It looks like this, it's really pretty. I also mixed in with a little bit of Ice Cold from Jeffree Star, and I tried to add a little bit of the shade Zero into it, but I don't think it's really showing up just because I have so many different highlights mixed into it. To talk about this palette, so my first impressions of this palette is there is a crazy amount of fallout in it. So if you don't like fallout and you're similar to me and it kind of bothers you a little bit, you might be a little frustrated with some of the shadows just because they seem to be pressed really lightly for at least my palette. As soon as I put my brush into the palette, a crazy amount of fallout comes out. It's almost like the shadows are pressed super loose. So I've had experiences with other brands that have shadows pressed like that. Melt is a good example. I have my Gemini palette and it is the exact same thing where I put my brush into it and I get so much fallout from it, and it's almost like the palette, like the shadows are just pressed super lightly. So I do have to be careful with using my brushes with this or else I'm going to be wasting a lot of product, which I don't really like. But other than that, I would say that the shadows worked really nice. They blended really well. They're very pigmented, so that could also be why there is a crazy amount of fallout. In my experience, eyeshadow palettes that are super pigmented like this tend to have a lot more fallout than other brands that I've tried. So there is that. I would say that the first look that I tried to do, I didn't obviously put it in the video, was me using the Trappa color and the Dairy color, and it didn't work. I don't know what was going on with it. I think my studio probably was just too warm. I was getting really crazy amounts of patchiness in my eyeshadow and it just wasn't working properly. It wasn't blending properly. And then when I tried again using the Trappa color again and then other colors, they worked fine. So I think it was probably just my technique of using it because I've never actually tried Shroud's eyeshadows before, so it was probably just my technique having to figure out this palette a little bit and how warm my studio is, because I've had that happen in the past where things have been patchy just because my skin is really warm. I would say so far that I really like this palette. I don't like how much fallout there is. But other than that, I would say that the shadows work really nice. Color story of this palette is absolutely amazing. I'm really happy for Betty Jean that she got to create this palette with Shroud. I think it's absolutely amazing. The packaging is absolutely adorable. I think it is so perfect. It's so perfect for Halloween. It's such an amazing color story, and honestly, this palette just kind of screams Betty Jean to me, and I'm really happy that I picked it up. So it does retail for $35 USD, so if you haven't already picked it up, I would highly recommend picking it up just because it's a really cool color story. It's a really fun color story, and if you're better at eyeshadow than I am, you probably will have an easier time with this palette than I did. But I'm gonna continue playing around with this palette, and I'll do a review in the future. This is just a first impression, so obviously I've never actually used Shroud's eyeshadows before, so I can't really give you guys a review on this palette other than the fact that my first impressions was there's a lot of fallout. Other than that, I would say that I will do a review in the future and I'll try to do other looks with it because this color story is so interesting. You can come up with so many different looks, and there is a couple of shadows in here obviously that I haven't touched yet. So I'm really excited to try Grim. I really want to play with Spooky and Apparition. Those colors are just so gorgeous. I tried Zero tonight with my highlight, but I already had like a pink highlight on, so it didn't really work. And I'm really excited to try the shade Atom. So I used Handbook, Sam, Trappa, and Dairy tonight, and Dairy was the only one that I couldn't really get to work, but I think in the future I will be able to figure it out. I think I just need a little bit of practice with this particular formula. I would say so far this first impressions, I really like this palette. I'm really excited for Betty Jean. I'm really happy that I got it. I'm hoping if you guys are still waiting for this palette to come from the pre-order, you guys will get it soon. But we all knew that this was a pre-order and it took forever to get to us because so many people wanted it. That just shows how many people are supporting Shroud and Betty Jean, and that's amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. If you guys liked this look, let me know in the comments down below. Have a conversation with me. I will respond to absolutely everybody that I can, and please make sure to subscribe if you're interested in more videos like this, and I will see you guys at the next video. Bye!